CATCHIMPIPS. I've been CATCHIMPIPS. I've been.
Hey, it's your man Charlie P. Been a long time since I showed my face on this here YouTube platform, but got a couple of upgrades since the last time I came on here and talked to y'all. Man, got me a 38-inch ultra wide back there. Got a new desk, new computer, make a couple of upgrades and whatnot. Let's get into the topic of the video. As you can see in the description, your boy got the 400K from FTMO. Max Allocation. Little old me, little goofy dude who used to blow account after account after account after account. It was that serious, but I was blowing accounts, boy. And now to getting multi-5-figure payouts every couple of weeks. And max allocation from FTMO. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. I know that's so cliche to say, but seriously, if I can do it, y'all can do it. It took me 7 years to get to this point, which I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. I got big dreams for myself and big goals, and I plan on achieving those, but it's taking some time. I really feel like the only reason people really fail at forex is because they give up before that light bulb goes off. Don't give up. Just keep going, man. I'm actually going to show you two different trades, two different setups. The trade I used to pass the FTMO challenge, the verification phase, and got max allocated. And then I'm going to show you the trade that I'm currently in. And they're two different setups. So it's going to be a double whammy today. We're going to go over the reversal strategy, and we're going to go over the Omega strategy, because those are the two setups that I'm in. All right, let's jump into it. All right, let's start off with a little bit of proof. As you can see, this is the email that I got from FTMO 4 hours ago, confirming that they have hooked me up with the 400K account, that the $400,000 USD FTMO account has been assigned to me. Yeah, buddy. I can also log in and show you where I've gotten the max allocation. Well, again, there you see my $400,000 account, brand spanking new. I just put a 0.01 trade on it in order to go ahead and set my profit split day, because they normally set it a month out. I like to do every 2 weeks. And so I set it for 2 weeks from now, but you have to take a trade before you can change the profit split. So that's why I did that. What was I finna show y'all? Oh yeah, certificates. So you see, I hit platinum status. I'm going to blur this out as far as how much I've made so far. But as you see, in order to hit platinum status, you have had to have made at least 50K or more on your profit splits. And my second profit split was today. And just know that I've done above 50K in the last 4 weeks. So, and then there's my max allocation certificate here, which, I could download it or blow it up, but you see it right there. So yeah, so there's proof. Now let's jump into them trades. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the trade I took to pass the FTMO verification to get this max allocation. I used my reversal strategy, and we'll talk about all the rules involved in my reversal strategy, so you know exactly why I bought this. Also, for the people who have been asking me, what are my settings on some of my indicators? If you download my templates, you'll have the settings. But if it's a situation where you just want one of the indicators to add to your own template, stay tuned. I will click through the indicators so you can see the settings on each, and you can just pause the video and take note of the settings that way. So I can get y'all straight on that. But let's jump right into it. So rule number one for the reversal strategy is we start off on the H1 time frame as always. And we want price to be in the bands, and we want it to be divergent at the same time. So here, price is in the bands, and as you see, the candles are going down versus the Ehlers Fisher is going up, focusing only on the green line down here. There's our divergence. Price is heading down right here, while the Ehlers Fisher says, it's in an upward slope. Rule number one is met. Rule number two, we want to see a break of structure. Now, in this situation, we got a really obvious W shape. When it came down and came up and kind of made this point, came down and came up, and then it broke past where the center point closed. At that point, I was like, all right, bet. The upward move is now confirmed for the most part, until I needed to see rule number 3 though. So rule number 3 is, and I might be going out of order with these rules, but basically as long as you got all these, they're straight. Rule number 3 is on my reassurance template. So I just switched my templates up. I need to make sure that price has at least come into contact with my 33 SMA. That's my green line right here. So you see it wicked through the 33. Until that happens, I cannot look for an entry. Here's a tip that I don't think I put in the first video, and it helped me avoid some drawdown right here. When I go down to the 15-minute chart, so basically this section here is where on H1, it came in contact with that 33 SMA. So now I'm on the 15-minute chart. Normally on all my other strategies, I'll come down to the 15-minute chart on my main template and I'll wait on it to hit my 50 EMA. On reversals, and this is only for reversals, usually I'll come here and wait on it to grab the 33 SMA, because the 33 SMA is normally below the 60. The 33 is so basically the green line is normally below the blue line when price comes back down to grab these. In this case, the green was already above the blue, and so that made me hesitant, because I'm like, hold on, last time I saw that happen, price kind of stalled out, and that's exactly what happened. So I stayed out of the trade and didn't enter here. Had I entered when it grabbed the 33, I'd have got in about right there, and we would have had 21. So about 25 or 20, yeah, about 25 pips of drawdown, which normally I like to max my drawdown out around 20 for the most part when I'm dealing with pairs, unless it's like gold or even GJ. Sometimes I might go a little overboard with my stop loss just because those move so much, but I don't like to have more than 20 pips of drawdown. But let's go back to the main chart. So that's why I waited and did not enter the trade. It ended up stalling out into the next day like I figured it would. When it stalled out, it also kind of made a good downward push and broke through this little minor, what I would say is a minor support. So now I kind of wanted it to reconfirm the up move and break structure again. This became my new center point. And then in London session on this green candle right here, it broke through and closed past this new center point. Now we're in the heart of London session. It's the next day. And also I like to wait for price to come down below the 10 and close above the 10. I know I mentioned that in my first strategy video, and that happened at the same time when it broke structure again here. So we had a double kind of confirmation right there. Then I went to the 15-minute chart and took my normal style of entry because we're in London and it's the next day. I just waited on it to come back down, grab the 50 EMA. We entered the trade right about here on this candle down here in the wick, and then we just waited it out and we let price, you know, do what it did. So as you see, it did scare us a little bit. And honestly, I did get out when this started coming back down. I jumped out and took a little bit of profit, and then I got right back in down here where this green candle made this upside down hammer. Then I jumped right back in, and at the start of this hour that just sprang up. And so pretty much that was what did it for me. Is I jumped back in here, price flew up 75 pips. I just happened to reach my profit goal on that trade. Now, I didn't need to keep trading on FTMO at that point, but had you held this trade, as you see, it is a reversal, and a reversal means the trend is reversing. So it's going to start going in the other direction for quite some time. So you could have easily held that and been up, you know, well over 100 pips at this point. Well, 200 pips dang there. So awesome trade, but that's the reversal strategy. Okay, so while I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and kind of click through the settings on my indicators for y'all. So my EMAs, everything is exponential and median price. Apply it to median price. So those are all my EMAs are set that way. The bands, the top band, let's see, here you go. So here's how I have the top band set. I think the main thing you need to focus on is the price being set to 4, maybe this multiplier at 7 and this at 500. All my alerts, I have them off. I don't like alerts, so I set all of these to false. I think if you download the indicator, it's going to have those set to true. I think I've had this set this way for years now, so I don't remember too much, but those are my settings for the top band. Here's the second second one. Just pause it and take a screenshot or something, man. Third one, or the one on the bottom. And then the one at the very bottom. All right, Elis Fisher, the settings on this. Yeah, 10, 4, true. Now the levels, I actually don't have any set on the Elis Fisher. The levels for the 10, the 50, and the 90 down here, that's for my RSI. So if I click on the dotted line with the RSI, you can see my RSI set to 5, and the levels, that's where I have that 10, the 90, and the 50. So I just have the Elis Fisher on top of the RSI. So that's how that works. Okay, let's go into the other trade. The other trade is one I'm actively in. Now I'm on my turnkey account right now. It's one of my personal accounts. I withdrew and I'm just kind of building it back up now. So this account has started off with $300 yesterday. I'm sorry. Started out with $300 during Asian session, or $384 during Asian session yesterday. We're currently up 700 on it. You can see what I'm risking. I don't care about everybody saying, oh, you're over leveraging. I think my track record is kind of proven right now. So I'm good. I'm confident in my strategies to where I can go ham on my lot sizes. This was an Omega trade. Okay, so now on this one, as you know, with my Omega strategy, rule number 1 is that I want price to kind of be consolidating between the 50 EMA and the 144 EMAs. And at the same time, it needs to be overbought or oversold. Since we were looking to buy on this one, we needed it to be oversold. And so here we are. So looking in this box, basically, you see price is kind of consolidating between the 50 and 144s. Even though it passed the 144, that's fine. It's not a big deal, as long as the main formation is just in that general area. And then as you see down here, price hit below the 10 level down here, so it's oversold. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is we need to find where's the last prominent wick within the formation. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see this better. When I'm looking for the last prominent wick, basically, so initially price would have came down, and I focus on the bodies to come to a point. So in this case, we would look for like an upside down V type thing. So like, you see how that's an upside down V. So I would find something like that and then find the most prominent wick within that V. In this case, we're looking at this top wick right here. I'm going to draw a line right there. Price comes down, it comes up, it doesn't pass that, but it makes another one of those V's. So now I'm going to adjust my point to the top of this wick, because this is now the new last prominent wick, the most recent prominent wick that I have. Now price comes down, back up, and on this one, it closes past my last prominent wick. So now my direction is confirmed for the Omega trade. Now all I'm doing is looking for an entry. Go down to the 15-minute chart and wait on price to come down, grab the 50 EMA. This is where I took my first entry. It came up, and when it came back down, I was like, oh, because I don't like trading the Asian session. I haven't historically had the best of luck during Asian session, just to be real with you. So I kind of stick to London and New York for like 95% of my trades. But This one was kind of it was just too obvious to pass up. But when it came down, because I tried to take it a little light at first, but when it came down, I was just like, all right, well, you asking for it, market. So I went ahead and popped 2 more 0.5s in there. So I put 1.5 standards total on the whole thing. And then I went to sleep. And then, as you see, it rose up pretty good for us. So we're just riding this one out. I've got my TP up here because this is where the next major zone is, at the top of this H1 area. So I expect for price to kind of stall out here, maybe even into Asian session, and then give us another good push to the upside. And that'll be roughly $1,500 profit from a $384 account. So once you get your strategies down and you can enter the market effectively, which, like I said, I love entering around the 50 EMA, preferably below the 50 EMA if I'm buying. But as you see, these are a little bit above the 50 where I got in. But the point is, you see my drawdown was extremely minimal, but that's why I entered the way that I enter. It helps with avoiding drawdown. That's how you get those sniper entries. And yeah, those are my 2 setups that I took. I hope y'all got something from this, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.